everybody, from Fairfield Lanes. Welcome once again to the Hudy King of TV Bowling. Like to wish you and your families a happy Valentine's Day. I'm Tom Brenneman, along with Jennifer Kleekamp and David Newrath. And Jennifer, Fairfield Lanes got a lot of things going out here these days.
Absolutely. They're presently holding the city tournament. Last weekend, we qualified here, had 2 300 games from Terry Rose in 2 consecutive days. Outstanding scores, we also had Scott Rasp, who had an 833, including 2 300 games.
Yeah. Gee, big numbers. And speaking of Terry Rose, he's going to be in our first match, David. And wait a minute, what is that?
Well, it's Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd dress for the occasion, Tommy. But box of candy presented to us by the management here. Bud, thank you very much. We like it. But in the first match, we're going to see some great bowling. And I'll tell you what, we're going to see a person that has not been on the show in quite a few years, Billy Butcha. A little unorthodox, tall, lanky kid, but he straps it and he hits his mark 9 times out of 10. Great bowler. Second contestant is going to be Terry Rose. He was the story here last week. 1 300 on Saturday, 1 300 on Sunday, 770-something series. Fantastic.
All right, we've got that and much, much more. Looking for the big numbers. These guys have put them up in the past. Coming up on the Hudy King of TV Bowling from Fairfield Lanes in Fairfield, Ohio.
Greater Cincinnati BPA's Hudy King of Bowling. Brought to you by Hudy Delight, Cincinnati's own light beer and an official beer sponsor of the Greater Cincinnati Bicentennial. It's too good to be beer.
Once people get a little fluffy scratch catering hotline.
6 months park rent.
TV Bowling, week number 4. I'd like to pass along a happy Valentine's Day to my working cohorts here, Jennifer Kleekamp and David Newrath.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Sure. Special thing from you.
And here's our first roll of the day. This guy chalked up an impressive roll-off score, did he not, David?
Yeah.
Two what, Jen?
279.
Wow.
To 164. No contest there.
No.
Fabulous game.
No, we haven't seen Billy in a while, and like I said in the opening, he has an unorthodox style. Of course, he's that tall and he's lanky and doesn't really do things by the book, but he does execute on demand and bringing back a spare in his first frame.
Like you said, he executes, meaning in other words, that more times than not, 10 in the pit is standard.
He does it with some regularity. And if we're talking about a man who strikes with regularity, Terry Rose's weekend last weekend was nothing short of great. And he starts out with the same way that he chalked up 2 300s last weekend with a perfect strike.
We've got a fabulous crowd on hand. Absolutely packed here. This is great.
It's been our biggest crowd of the year, I believe.
I would say so, by far.
And speaking of a big crowd, Terry has got a lot of his family, I know, here today rooting him on. So if you hear a lot of hooting and hollering every time Terry drains 10 of them, that is the reason why.
And it's all headed by probably his 2 sons, Brad and Craig. Come on, Dad.
There he goes, looking for number 2. And they all go in the pit. Got a little help there at the end.
To set up the match, Tommy, I will tell you that the 2 bowlers are going to be playing the lanes in the same basic area, about the 7th, somewhere between the 7th and 8th board, maybe the 6th board if they swing it a little wide. But Terry's going to be going much more direct than Billy. He's looping the ball a little bit more. Now he's lined up. First ball he looped, that he went a little more directly on, and he gets the bone. I'll tell you, 10 in the pit again. I predict. I don't do this too often, but I'll tell you what. I predict our average today on the show is going to be about 240.
Going into this week, incidentally, we do have a 231 average on the show. That's through 18 games.
We've had some outstanding competition so far. And as David mentioned, he's expecting it to heat up even more today. Bill at it again, and again, 10 go down. You said he found his line.
Well, the first frame, he got the ball a little wide, and on the replay, we'll be able to see that the ball is a little straighter through the heads and going down the lane into a little better roll. We'll pick that replay up a little later on, but he did line up. He's adjusted his mark and his arm swing, and he's in great shape.
And Terry Rose is familiar with Fairfield. And he showed you right there, this is his home base. Bowls out here twice a week.
Terry Rose strikes with regularity, and he is executing to perfection.
Tom Schiller today from West Hills Ford has brought us a Thunderbird. Terry Rose is 3 frames, 3 strikes on his way there. It's sitting out in the parking lot right at this moment, ready to be taken home.
Going to take a look at the score, Dave, and we're moving right along. Take a look at that momentarily as Mr. Rose goes for number 4 in a row.
He lightened up on that shot. He got slow, and the ball did run high, leaving a very, very lucky break on the 10-pin, quite frankly.
He's going to try to pick up that spare.
We are qualifying today out at Super Bowl. We had a good turnout yesterday. Come on out and give it a shot.
And we talked about the spare, no problems whatsoever. Now we've already got ourselves a match through 4 frames.
Well, the scoreboard would show us that Terry Rose is about 9 pins in the lead at this point, but Bill Butcha has an opportunity to actually take the lead by 1 pin if he strikes here.
He's looking for it, and he's on the money. Bill, one of the more emotional players we've seen this year.
Oh, yeah. He covers some boards with the bowling ball and with his twinkly toes.
Twinkly toes.
Yeah. Saw him on the dance floor, you'd understand.
Billy also has 2 children, a little boy and a little girl. Wife Patty is here this morning cheering him on. He started bowling at the age of 4 at Western Bowl. He started bowling when I was way back when, just about then.
Way back when.
Oh,
Jennifer's
yeah.
22 for a week now.
Eons and eons ago.
Missed that one.
I tell you what, this is a crucial shot in a bad place to put it, leaving the 3, 5, 6, 9, the right-hander's bucket. You're going to see the replay here. Now, the balls that he's been striking on right there is holding out. He's trying to give it some body help, but now he knows he's got a problem. Deflection, you betcha. Tough spare and a bad count on a triple. This could hurt him.
But he picks it up.
Very good coverage on that spare.
Talked about that kind of game he rolled in the roll-off, that 279 score. The only frame which he did not roll a strike was the 4th. He came back and knocked down 8 consecutive strikes.
Yeah, just drilled it right to Don Hughes, incidentally, who is here marking score for us today, who Bill beat in the roll-off.
I believe Don's qualified for every show so far.
He has.
Now, there you go.
Now, Terry Rose smells blood. And I'll tell you what, he throws this shot with all the trust that you can ever hope to see on a ball. He just strokes it out to about the 5th board and then leisurely lets the ball roll back to the pocket. Got a swishing strike. He has a 3-pin advantage actual on the board. A strike working, make it 13. Could increase his lead even more with another strike here.
Looks like he's found the groove again. And that tells the tale. Terry has really got it going right now.
Well, I was talking to him before we started the match, and he said he drilled up this new ball a couple of weeks ago, and he's having a lot of success with it. He's maxed out on the weight block. There you see it, 3-pin advantage, actual fourth frame, 99 to 96, with a double working. Big double right here, but Billy does not give up.
Dave, you talked about Terry getting a new ball. For most people who bowl in leagues, or whether it's just recreational bowling, is there ever a time when you know it's time to get a new ball?
Well, believe it or not, Tommy, they actually wear out. I mean, they do. And it's made of a substance now. It's normally polyurethane or the plastic ones. Doesn't make any difference. They lose their resilience. In other words, they get dead, like a tennis ball or a golf ball. After guys like you and me tear the cover off of it, you know, with our powerful drives. No, you actually need a new ball about every I'd say about every 300 to 400 games would be a good milestone.
And some of these guys, they bowl roughly how many a week?
Well, I was just looking here. Terry Rose, he bowls twice a week in league, but he practices 10 to 20 games a week. That makes for a sharp game, no question about it.
You bet it does. Bringing back the spare, the 7-pin, gives him 136 in the 6th, but Terry Rose is the story right now. 3 strikes to open the match, a spare in the 4th, 2 more, and he looks so comfortable out there.
Bill Butcha, he bowls 5 times a week and practices 10 games. That's a lot of games for these guys.
So that ball can wear out pretty quickly. When you bowl at that kind of pace, it didn't look like he found the line that he had the last couple of frames there.
Tommy, you could see him motion there with his arm. He came over the top of the ball, pointed it up, and the elbow flared out to the left. You do all those things wrong. You're very happy to get 8.
Are you saying I do?
Oh, with anybody.
All right.
Picking up the 4-7. And that lets Billy Butcha have an opportunity to throw some X's on the board and get back into the match. But he's got to get going, and it's got to start now.
Now, what's the scoreboard going to tell us here, David?
Well, you can see it there. It's 147 to 136. That's an 11-pin deficit that Billy has to make up.
Terry going to try to increase.
Ring 7-pin. Great shot.
Well, he started off with a spare in the first, or rather, strike in the first 3.
3 strikes and then a spare. He's lined up with the exception of that one bad pitch, and that unfortunately just shows he's human.
And he picks up the spare.
Terry has a tremendous amount of awards and merits behind him, particularly in the greater Hamilton area where he bowls. He was their Bowling Association doubles champion, also the all events scratch champion. For the people who don't know, that is a composite of your singles, doubles, and team score, which is once again a very prestigious title to maintain. And he's also captained the first ever GHBA, Greater Hamilton Bowling Association All-Star team, who bowls the Cincinnati All-Stars every year.
Oddly enough, right there, Bill realized he had made a mistake, and then he kind of stepped away from the pins and said, but hey, I'll take it. It could have been worse.
You betcha. And it's 11 pins. He's only down 11 pins with 2 frames to go. He brings his spare back. He can really have an opportunity to put the pressure on Terry Rose here in the 9th and 10th frame.
Wow. Look at him, taking a little sigh of relief there.
Hang on, Sloopy.
Wipe that brow.
Let's hear another chorus of that.
Oh, I tell you. No, one song a week, that's it.
One more?
Sorry. Sloopy lives in a great... Okay. Right. Thank you. In the truck.
Of course, back in the truck, as always, our fine technical crew out here at Fairfield Lanes, and Director Roy Alfers and his top assistant, Rufus Rathbone, Jesse Jackson.
And we hold them in high esteem, since they control all the buttons.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Billy went high, leaving the 6-10, and he's not doing what we saw him do in the roll-off, and that is stroke the ball. He's trying to fit the ball into the pocket right now, and that just doesn't work.
Trying to force things?
He's trying to force the ball into the hole and force the strikes down rather than get that fluid, free arm swing that he needs to carry.
Our gracious host this morning is Bud and Norm Boskin. This is a fabulous place here. I'm very impressed with this Fairfield lanes. It's very nice.
There you see the score, 173 for Billy in the 8th, 66 in the 7th, with a spare working for Terry. Making a strike in the 9th frame. Big frame to build on. That's the one you want to do it. Carries a 13-pin advantage into the 10th frame. And on the replay, we can see that this ball is going to run high on him, but he's got a lot on it. There you see, bottom of the swing, going over the 6th board. Now he's going to fill up the pocket. That middle head pin there goes straight back. The 3-pin goes to the wall, wedges itself in between the 6 and the 10 for a big, big strike in the 9th frame. The only way he could lose this match at this point is to open up in the 10th frame.
David, you made your prediction about the high scores today.
What did we just say?
Wow.
Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. Story on this is that if assuming he picks up one of these, that will give him 214. Billy needs 2 strikes in the 10th frame, but he would win the game.
Oh! Well, you said he got one. And that's exactly what he did. And now the pressure's on Bill.
Exactly right. And the situation is this, Tommy. If Billy strikes on the first ball, gives him 193 in the 9th frame, he would, if with a spare, would give him 213, losing by a pin. He's got to have 2 strikes.
And this is what it's all about. We've said many times before, match play brings out the best. And there's one of them.
Well, that's the big one. Obviously, you can't do anything unless you get that one. But the next shot, the next one is the one that we'll see if Bill Butcha can respond to the pressure.
He's talking to himself. He's really pumped. I can see it on his face. I've seen him bowl under pressure in the past, too. Bill is very good under pressure.
He has been on our show, or never been on our show, as a matter of fact. Neither one of these players have, and it's surprising with all their accomplishments. Here he goes for number 2.
The bearded marvel!
The bearded marvel. I guess that's one of Terry's friends. Bill, a little disappointed in himself, and to have an opportunity to win and then not perform. Well, that's what it's all about, but it is frustrating.
Makes toughing a little loser. Makes losing a little tougher. We'll try that again.
Yeah, that too. But it's still a commendable game, 213.
So Terry Rose, the hometown favorite, will move on to our next round. He wins at 214 to 213. Up next, our 14K Golden Ball contest.